Hello guys, welcome back. I hope you watched the previous videos. So in the previous videos, you have already known in which type of databases you use DynamoDB. For NoSQL databases, we use DynamoDB. And do we need to manage anything in DynamoDB? No, because it's a fully managed service and it's a serverless service. And what are the common ways that we have to model our NoSQL data you have seen? So among those, what is the most preferable way that DynamoDB uses also that is key value database. So you know what is key value database? That is nothing but collection of key value pairs. A key value pair is nothing but an item or a record. You can say a row. First row is one item, second row is one item. And by using the key, it's a unique identifier where you can able to identify your item or record. So by using a key, you can able to access your data, that is items or records in your database. So let's move on in-depth concept among the databases. RDS DynamoDB database. In DynamoDB, actually your database was key value database. Your database looks like key value database. But whatever the data that you store is actually tables. What you store? You store tables in DynamoDB. Under DynamoDB, what you store? You store tables. Okay. So what does a table contain, sir? This table contains some attributes. That is, you can see here some IDs are there, right? We can say this is number. Yes. And here you can say names. These numbers is one ID. This number are one attribute and this name is one attribute. So you can see these are attributes. This number is one attribute and this name is one attribute. So these are attributes. So what about? So can I say attributes as rows, that is columns? First column is one attribute, second column is one attribute. Yes, yes. So columns are attributes. Each column, that is names is one column and numbers is one column, right? Yes. This names is one column and number is one column. So each column is one attribute. Number is one attribute and name is one attribute. So what about each row? That is, this is one row, right? And this is one row. So what is each row? Each row is item. How DynamoDB stores your data in the form of table. How table will look like this. So let's say I have added one more column. So what do I call a column? I call a column as attributes under DynamoDB table. And what do I call a row? I call this row in DynamoDB tables as item, or else you can say a record. This is Ajay's record. This is Sai's record. Like that, I call each item. Can I say table? This whole table is nothing but collection of items. Yes, this is one item, this is Ajay item, and this is Sai item. So collection of multiple items. We can say it as table. Yes. So these items are, we can even call them as objects. Now let's have a question. How can you able to identify each item? Each item will be identified by using a unique key, right? Yes. Let's say this ID is my key. So if my key is 2, can I say my item is I? Yes. So if my key is 1, can I say my item is Ajay? Yes. So by using the key, unique key, you can able to identify a particular item. So what do we say these keys? What do we say these keys. Since these keys are useful to identify unique items, we call these keys as partitioned keys. What keys? Partitioned. So under this example, you can assume ID as your partitioned key. Okay. So what? So this name itself telling us partitioning. We are partitioning our items based on what? A unique key. A unique key. We are partitioning our data, right? Yes. So that's why we call these keys as partitioned keys. You can say here an example is ID. They are partitioned based on these keys. One is separate and two is separate. So by using that, we can able to identify each and every item by using a unique identifiable keys. We call those keys as partition keys. DynamoDB. DynamoDB actually uses these partition keys for what? To store whatever the whole data in the form of partitions, right? Yes. This is one partition, this is another partition. So logical data partitions, it stores your data in the form of logical partitions by using this partition. Let's see more about items. What is an item? An item is nothing but a column or else a record, right? Yes. So for each item, for every item contains all attribute values in DynamoDB. No, every item do not contain all attribute values. You can even store how many set of attribute values you want for particular item. Let's say I want to store one more value for Ajay, that is property. Let's say Ajay is having car. Now under property, I'd like to store for Ajay car. But for Sai item, I do not want to store anything because he does not specify anything under property. So can I store my table like this? Yes. You can able to store your table like this. So for each item, they may have variable set of attributes. There is no need to have same attributes or same number of attributes for all items. Each item can have varying set of attributes. That is, one item can have less number of attributes, one item can have other more number of attributes. That is, no need to have same attributes, even same number of attributes, right? Yes. This is the main advantage of NoSQL compared to SQL. So not only SQL, that means here you can able to store schemeless, that is schema-less data also. So if there is no schema also, then you can able to store in this. It allows you to store schema less data. Under DynamoDB, you can able to store schema less data also. So this is one of the important point in NoSQL. You can able to store schema less data. That means what is the NoSQL database we are using here? We are using DynamoDB as our NoSQL database. So under DynamoDB, you can store these type of schema-less data. So this is one of the major advantage compared to your RDS, relational databases. So along with partition key, that is along with partition key ID, you can also use sort key. So Why this sort key is used, sir? So to partition within your same partition. Actually, this partition key will partition all your items, right? So within that partition also, if you want further partition, then you can use sort key. So here you can see numbers are nothing but unique only, right? You can see here, yes. You can see here number. So based on that, they're also sorted. So by using this sort key, you can able to get your response faster. Your query will be rectified. Your query will get response very faster by using this sort key. You have already your ID for partitioning, ID as a partitioning key, and you have number as your sort key. So by using this, you can able to get a fast query response. If you are using both partition key as well as sort key, then combining those two, we call that as primary key. Here, what is the partitioning key ID? What is the sort key number? So if we combine these two, we call them as composite primary key. In short, we call them as primary key. That is nothing but combination of both partition key and sort key, right? Yes. So what is the partition key here? ID. And what is the sort key here? Number. So by using these two combination, we call it as primary key, or else we can say it as composite primary key. So while creating and modeling your data in the form of tables in DynamoDB, you need to know these are the terminologies, that is schema, schemaless data, and primary key, partitioned key, sort key, tables, attributes, records, items, objects, collection of items, we call it as table, and partitioning key, sort key, composite primary key, and for each item, how many set of attributes that it can able to hold. Each and every item can have same number of attributes, no need. So these are the key points that you need to know while configuring or modeling your data under DynamoDB. I hope you understood this video and you also understood few more terminologies which we are going to use under DynamoDB. If you feel this video is contentful, then please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. See you back in the next video with some more content on few more interesting topics. Until then, bye bye guys. Thanks for watching again.